Can we do the breath thing?
Yeah, we can.
Talking about that. Where do you think would be? Do you think it'd be a good position? Be just like on a chair? Do you think on the ground? What's your preference?
For beginners, I usually do it on the ground, laying on the back. But we could just do
Can you
it
do it?
sitting here too.
We got the thing set up. We can do
Sure.
it on the ground. Is that all right?
Sure.
All right. Oh, ooh, should I lay down?
Yeah, go ahead, lay down.
I'm down. I'm going down. Ugh. All right.
All right. So I would bend the knees because then that already takes the pelvis into that more neutral position.
Okay.
And I would put one hand on your chest, so kind of higher up in your chest area, and then one hand on like this low rib cage area. So I'm going to put your hand a little bit higher. Okay, so you feel both sides of your rib cage and your upper chest. And now breathing in through your nose, can you take a deep breath in? Awesome. And then nice and slow, allow it to come out.
You're going to see into how messed up I am. This is highly vulnerable.
So what the idea here is, what we really want to try to get at is that this hand's going to stay relatively silent. Not completely. Again, we still want the breath to lead up a little bit, but I want this to actually come out into the fingertips and into the palm a little bit more as you expand and breathe in. Yes. And then you breathe out, and it nice and slowly is going to recoil back together and down. Do you kind of feel that?
Absolutely, yeah. That's great.
So here his belly's going as well, which is great, but this is why it's not just about belly breathing. It is about getting out into the sides here to feel it in your fingertips. And then the other method that you can do is putting hands here. So breathing in and feeling that expansion out laterally. So I would say you still come a little bit high here. And then breathing out and feeling that rib cage kind of come down and compress as well. Breathing in, allowing that to come expand lateral. There you go. And then breathing out and allowing that rib cage to slowly start to drop. Yeah. So for you, I would say you do have a little bit of tilting your rib cage back posteriorly. So you're probably a little bit tighter in this area.
Yeah.
And that is why you see so much rib cage down here, is because it is a little bit tilted back. So for him, there's other things that we would do more toward the feet, balancing out with the pelvis and the rib cage together. But for now, if we're just talking about breath, this is a great way to start to retrain that lower rib cage and that diaphragm, how to expand up and out, and then how to recoil and come back and down together.
That's really good. I feel so good after that, doing that.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good. We mentioned a foot thing. Can we do one more thing?
We can.
What was the thing you were talking about? How so people are obsessed with being in supinated positions.
Oh, yes.
Maybe that's in my mind, but I know that I was and still working on letting go of that. So working with people that say have like collapsed arches, is there any kind of like exercises or anything you'd recommend for that?
100%. Yeah.
What should we do with that?
I'm going to take off my
Take off the
lovely
socks.
comfortable socks. It's raining
They're so
outside,
good.
okay? So
Yep.
this is why I wear these socks.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with just the general comfort.
That too.
Yeah.
A cold day in California. Whoop. Okay. So one that I actually really like with the feet is again getting that to balance between pronation and supination. So you could do that even just sitting, where you start to say, okay, I'm going to grab my knees so that it's not this whole movement here from the hips, but it's actually just coming from the feet. And can I drop into as much pronation as I can without, again, letting the knees come together, and then as much supination as possible. So, and you can squeeze if you want to, you can let the toes come up, or just go right through that mid-foot area and coming out and in. So really trying to increase what you do for both of them. And then the other one that I really like, make sure this comes with me, is standing on one foot and getting that full pressure of falling in and collapsing in that arch. So if
Right.
people are already down, now I want them to collapse into it even more.
Blasphemy.
I know. And then you turn and you rotate and squeeze that bottom of the foot as much as you can. So all my pressure is basically staying over my right foot. My left foot's just kind of making sure I don't fall. And then I squeeze as much as I can. So this is a really good way, not only to get like a warm up, because now you're kind of getting that natural neurological balance between the foot. So now you can go running, you can go lifting, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But it's a good exercise. It's just a good exercise to start to learn that full balance, because we should be able to stand here and have that mobility through the ankles. And a lot of people don't know. It's either stuck or we start to train how to lift.
Yeah.
And it's easier to start to train those arch exercises that we all love if you have that mobility within the foot and you're starting to train it into full pronation, full supination.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd want to add, or you think that's bueno?
I think when we're talking about just like those two ends of the spectrum, those are two great ones. I think the other thing that we can't forget is that we have those intrinsic foot muscles, just like we have hands, that kind of spread open. Your toes should be able to do the same thing. So when you're talking about retraining the foot and getting that balance back and strengthening the foot, if the toes aren't playing a role, not just in squeezing and opening, but if they're not trying to open and trying to coordinate movement in your toes, then you're missing a part of the puzzle.
Is barefoot the way to go with getting that to sort out, or is there any exercises that you do with people?
So I usually just start basic of lifting and trying to spread as much as you can.
Okay.
And if people can't spread at all, I usually say to wear the toe, like the manicure toe spread. Do you have something?
Got him.
Look at that.
It looks a little bit like a sex toy. But
yeah, especially when you do that. Like, why do you need to do that with it?
Flip it around like that. That's all I use it for. Just for comedic relief. All right.
But using that will help to just naturally start to stretch and open those areas. So then you can start to retrain and really work on getting those toes to spread. And then after that, can you do it standing?
Cool.
And then after that, can you do one at a time?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was super fun.
Awesome.
I feel like I needed you to lighten me up a little bit. I'm such a big alignment jerk. All right, recording over. Bam.